Hi guys, it's Miss Bull and I am getting ready to do a little experiment with you guys. We're going to do 2 different experiments and I'll have 2 different videos and then maybe a craft video later too, just depending on how much time we have. As you can see, it's kind of a rainy day here in April, and of course that means April showers. And I hope you guys have all heard April showers bring Mayflowers. And then there's always the classic, well, what do Mayflowers bring? And they bring pilgrims. Okay guys, let's get started. Alright guys, so here we are on my porch. And I have chosen to do this on the porch because it could be a little messy. Not too messy. I'm showing you just a few of the things that I have. And I will have adult caregivers and helpers. I will have a full list of things for you in the notes on this video. But I do have just some vegetable oil. I've got some jars. One that I made sure seals up really tight so that when I shake it, nothing will come out. And I've got some food coloring. And I've got some straws. And some containers of water. And some just empty glass containers to do a little mixing in. So I also got a baking sheet, and I was thinking it might be helpful to have this in case there were any spills or anything like that. So let me get set up and for our first experiment. Okay, here's the first jar. This is the one I was telling you about that I'd made sure had a really good tight fitting lid. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fill it up just about halfway with water. And then I'm going to take some of my vegetable oil and I'm going to just pour it slowly on the top. And I hope that you can see pretty well what's going to happen here. Getting some big globules of oil. But if you notice, even though after it goes down to the bottom, it just floats right back up to the top. Because, remember, oil and water do not mix. So now what I think I'm going to try is to see if I can mix it. So first, I've got one of my straws. You could easily just use a stick or a spoon or something. And I am going to try to mix it up real well. What is happening here? So it sure does look like it mixed a little bit. But let's just sit and watch it for a little while. What's happening there? There's lots of little bubbles. And the little bubbles of oil all look like they're kind of joining together. And all of a sudden, it doesn't really look like it's separated anymore, does it? I mean, pardon me, I mean, it is becoming more separated, sorry. We have a nice clear line between those two. I'm going to try one more thing with this experiment. Okay, so I just put the tight-fitting lid on, and I am going to pick it up. And I'm really going to try to mix it. I'm shaking and shaking and shaking and shaking. Oh my goodness. What is going to happen now? What do you think is going to happen? Keep thinking about it. Let's see. Ooh. Once again, it does look pretty well mixed up. You can kind of see a separate layer forming though. Right there is a separate layer. Looks like it's forming between the water and the oil. and bubbles are starting to come up in both of them. And the longer we watch, the more separation we will see. So these two liquids, oil and water, are said to be immiscible, which is the big word that means they cannot be mixed together. And we talked a little bit about in the lesson about why these things cannot be mixed together. But I am going to add something to them that is attracted to the molecules of both oil and water. And I do want to let you know that I know that the water at the bottom looks a little bit cloudy. And I think that's just because it still has some bubbles in it because I shook it pretty ferociously. So I'm going to add some, and you guys probably know what this is. If not, you should help do the dishes. And then you'll know. This is some dishwashing liquid. And dishwashing liquid can help break down oil because it is attracted and does attach itself to oil molecules. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add 1, 2, 3, just a little bit. Officially it said a teaspoon, but I'm not worrying too much about that. Just adding a little bit of dish soap. And if you'd like to look, we'll take a look at the top and see. There's the dish soap, kind of like a little spider web. And it even has a nice little bubble at the top with some rainbow on it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put my tight fitting lid on and I'm going to shake it again. So here it is, the jar. I put my tight fitting lid on and you can see that it looks like the dish soap, which was blue, has gone down to the bottom of the jar. Maybe just think for a little minute about why that might have happened. Do you think that maybe the dish soap was heavier than the oil and the water, and that's why it sank to the bottom? It's more dense, maybe. Okay, so I'm going to take it and I'm going to shake it up and we'll see what happens. Whoa! First of all, I'll tell you what happens. There's a lot of bubbles in there. That soap got really foamy. So why don't we wait for a little while, like 5 minutes, and come back and see what's happened with our jar. And here is a follow-up to what happens when you put a little soap in the jar with the oil and the water. If you look closely, you can see there's definitely a lot of bubbles on top, but those are soap bubbles. And then down at the bottom, that oil and water is really pretty much mixed all together. And that is because the soap molecules are attracted to both the water and the oil molecules. And it just helps them to mix together. And that is what we've got for that experiment. You guys have a good day.